Hello friends, Koolio here, and welcome back to the channel. Now lately I've been playing a ton of mobile battle royale games, and I've been having an absolute blast. And so I decided I wanted to put together a list for you guys of my top 10 mobile battle royale games for 2019 and going on into early 2020. Now all the games on this list are currently available to play in their official launches, except for the first one, which I'll be talking about in just a second. So if you guys enjoy this list, then please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so that you guys can stay up to date in the latest in mobile gaming. Now before we get into the list, just a quick disclaimer. I decided to only choose games that were either third-person perspective or a first-person perspective. So games that are like top-down view battle royale games, there are a ton of really great ones. I decided not to include it on this list, just to let you know. As well, if you know any upcoming mobile battle royales or any I don't have on this list that you think should be here on this list, let me know down below. Also, if there's any particular top 10 lists that you guys want to see featured here on the channel, let me know in the comments. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start our list off with Disorder. Now Disorder is a new Hero N team-based battle royale game from NetEase. And let me tell you right now, this is not going to be the last time that you guys hear about NetEase on this list, as they crank out new battle royale games pretty much every single month. Now, Disorder is currently available for closed beta testing in Thailand, but it does not require a VPN in order to try it out. As well, this current beta test will not be wiped once it's finished, signifying its official launch coming very soon. Now, Disorder sets itself apart from other mobile battle royales in its take on the driving force for conflict. Rather than a storm or a dangerous mist that drives players together, it focuses on a point capture system, which leads to an eventual battle for the center of the map. Now it has a large variety of pretty cool looking characters, with more to be released very soon, and a interesting weapon upgrade system once you actually jump in and play a match. The next game on this list is Creative Destruction by, yep, you guessed it, NetEase. Now, if you are looking for the closest thing to playing Fortnite on mobile without actually playing Fortnite on mobile, then that is Creative Destruction. Now, the gameplay is pretty similar to your typical battle royale with a very similar building mechanic to Fortnite, though the game does simplify and streamline the building process to work better on a mobile device. Now, it not only works on mobile, but they even have a dedicated PC client that you can download through Steam that has some pretty positive reviews. Now, this game has been available for quite some time, and with that time has come a numerous amount of updates, including an insane amount of cosmetics, which NetEase always does a great job at making their cosmetics really cool. Another game by NetEase, we have Cyber Hunter. Now this is sort of a culmination of all of their battle royale games combined into one, combining aspects of building, climbing, and even an insane character customization, which is outside of your usual cosmetic options. Now the game is on the higher end of the spectrum in terms of hardware requirements in order to run the game, though if you can run it, it looks pretty good. Now if you don't have a good enough phone to run this game, you can always download its Windows client, and even though this game looks really good, runs really good, I do find that the game's updates are a bit slower compared to its mobile siblings, as well as the game takes itself a little bit more seriously in its cosmetic options than the others do, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing at the same time, depending on how crazy you want your characters to look. The next game on our list is Knives Out, a game that at first went too close to the PUBG formula and struggled with gaining an audience, but then eventually found its own identity, and since then it has found a strong and dedicated player base. It has a large assortment of different game modes, with more coming out on a regular basis, and in fact they just introduced a new game mode called Ghost Valley for its Halloween update. Now just a warning with this game is that a large majority of its player base actually lives outside of the United States. As well, there have been complaints of hackers in the game, so be cautious when trying it out. Next we have the newly globally launched battle royale from, yes again, NetEase, called Ride Out Heroes. Now this game is sort of my personal favorite one as of right now. It's the one I've been playing the most, and I have even dropped a few dollars on this game because, well, NetEase does a really good job at its cosmetics. Now, if you've ever played a battle royale by high-res studios called Realm Royale, then this game will be very familiar to you. You can pick from a variety of different character classes with their own unique gameplay styles and abilities, such as power-ups, different movement skills, and they each have their own class weapons. Now you even have your own mount to help navigate the field, which does make battles a little bit quicker and faster. Though the game has become quite popular with its mobile release, I do find that a lot of the early game, a lot of your first matches will have bots in them, so just to let you know. Another personal favorite of mine, we have Super Mecha Champions. In my opinion, this is the coolest looking battle royale on this list, and because why? Well, because of giant mechs. Let me say they are awesome looking. Now this is another battle royale game where I've actually dropped a few bucks to get some awesome mechs and characters, and to be honest, I never felt like I didn't get my money's worth. Though I will say, like other games on this list, the early game is filled with bots and can make you feel really overpowered and some slower gameplay. However, when you do start playing against actual players, it's a ton of fun. Now, one of the things that you may be worried about is the balance between players versus mech. However, they actually do a decent amount of job, and you can do pretty good as a player versus a mech if you know how to handle yourself. The next game is a big one and one of the first battle royale games to really popularize the genre on the mobile platform, and that is Rules of Survival. Now, this game is massive, both in terms of player base, but also in terms of its own maps and its game modes. Now the game has both a mobile client and a client for PC, and surprisingly, a client for the Mac. Now the game currently has a crossover event with the King of Fighters franchise going on right now, so you get some pretty cool characters, and the game has a pretty well-built esports following and community. Now when I say this game is massive, I really mean it. And for new players wanting to get into the game, it can be extremely daunting at first, but if you stick with it, you will eventually find a well-polished mobile battle royale to compete with the best. Now we move on to the big three, starting off with Fortnite. Now Fortnite is arguably the most popular battle royale game ever, and that includes its massive mobile player base. However, the reason I put this game at number 3 on this list is that it's a PC game that's been scrunched down and given touchscreen controls rather than a fully built from the ground up mobile game like the rest on this list. Now I feel like I don't really have to explain much about this game, as most of you already know about it, though the game just went through a revamp with its Chapter 2 launch, so it may be worth jumping in and trying it out again. Next we have Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale. Another hugely popular mobile game that not only has a fun battle royale mode, but it also has its traditional Call of Duty gameplay modes like Team Deathmatch, Free-for-All, and Gun Game. Now the game's battle royale mode is a ton of fun to play, but it can suffer from optimization issues. Now it has a class-based gameplay system, but it's not as in-depth as some of the other games on this list. You can have vehicles that you can pilot, and there are even zombies and a giant hellhound boss to fight if you're looking for some extra challenge. Now if you're looking for a great all-around battle royale game that's relatively new, then this is the one for you. Now finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the granddaddy of all mobile battle royales, though to be fair, it isn't the oldest, mind you. We have PUBG Mobile. This is the most popular mobile battle royale game built from the ground up to play on touchscreens. This game is fantastic. There are tons of updates, holiday events, cosmetics, and game modes. If you're looking for a mobile battle royale to start playing right now, then you should definitely start off with PUBG Mobile. And if you are looking for tips, guides, videos, whatever on the game, it has a really strong and dedicated content creator community. So there you have it, guys, my list of the top 10 mobile battle royale games of 2019 and early 2020. Again, if you guys enjoyed this list, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more top 10 mobile gaming videos coming in the future. If there's anything in particular for a top 10 that you guys want to see, let me know down below in the comments. But again, guys, my name's Koolio. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.